We're going to talk about tattoos for a minute.
The purpose of this video is not to bash people that want to get tattoos, but rather to show that you cannot use the Bible or the text of Isaiah 49:16 when understood in its proper context, to claim that God has tattoos, and therefore justify you getting one.
Isaiah 49:16. Behold, I have indelibly imprinted or tattooed a picture of you on the palm of each of my hands.
There's no way she actually believes that God has a physical body with tattoos.
God, these are my kids. Look at my kids. Look at that.
Oh no. In John 4:24, Jesus says that God is spirit. And in Luke 24:39 he says that a spirit does not have flesh and bones. If you do a quick search to see which translations actually mention the word tattoo, you will notice the majority of them mention the word engraven, inscription, or written. Only 2 translations that I could find actually mention tattoo, and it just so happened that she's using one of them. Interesting. John Calvin says in his commentary regarding Isaiah 49:16. True, indeed. God has neither hands nor bodily shape. But Scripture accommodates itself to our weak capacity so as to express the strength of God's love toward us. Alec Motyer writes in the prophecy of Isaiah. The word see implies a gesture of spreading out palms incised with the self-inflicted wounds of Zion's name. When the servant's sufferings are reviewed, his hands are not mentioned, that is reserved for a later date. Your walls represent either the mute appeal of desolation, or the plans of the New Jerusalem. Some scholars believe that what is actually in God's hands are the plans, or blueprint of the city of Jerusalem. Klaus Baltzer in the Hermeneia commentary suggests that the text refers to the lines in the palms of Yahweh that make up a map of Jerusalem. Commentators have continually puzzled over what is meant by saying that Zion is etched into the 2 hands, or palms. Some exegetes have thought of a kind of tattooing, either of Jerusalem's name or of the plan of the city. The objection is that Leviticus chapter 19:28, for example, explicitly forbids tattooing. Others have suggested phylacteries as a comparison. I should like to suggest as a possibility that it is the lines on the palm that are meant, lines in which people thought they could discern the plan of Jerusalem. The wrist could be the north, the one side being the Kidron Valley, the other the Hinnom Valley. In the middle is then the central valley, with various ramifications, and the sharp bend back of the wall. At all events, in this way the southeast and southwest hills could be distinguished as simple but topographically conceivable map, and one that everyone held in his or her own hand, so to speak, not least Yahweh. Joseph Blenkinsopp in his Anchor commentary writes, the inscription on the hands has nothing to do with phylacteries, which are not worn on the hands, or with tattoos, and it is quite different from the situation in which people write, belonging to Yahweh, on their hands. None of these would be appropriate in the present context. The Septuagint, on my hands I have painted your walls, points us in the right direction. The blueprint is already prepared, and its essential feature is the tracing out of the walls. A well-known parallel is the outline of the Sumerian city of Lagash in the lap of the statue of its ruler, King Gudea. This also illustrates the ancient image of a capital city built according to a heavenly prototype or model, which was the genesis of the idea of a civitas Dei. Gary Smith in the New American Commentary says, to reassure Zion and prove the point in an even stronger way, God opens his hand and challenges Zion to observe, see, an image that was permanently engraved on the palm of God's hand. This is not a tattoo on the back of his hand, and it is not something written with weak ink that can fade or be erased. This is permanently carved into his metaphorical flesh. Reinoud Oosting in his work, The Role of Jerusalem in Isaiah 40-55, proposes a new interpretation. The meaning of Isaiah 49:16, which says, see, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands, your walls are ever before me, is disputed among exegetes. Some believe that it portrays God engraving or tattooing the name of Zion on the palms of his hands, while others think it refers to God drawing a sketch of Zion on his palms. However, both interpretations are problematic as they involve strong anthropomorphisms not found in other parts of Isaiah 40-55. It is more likely that the phrase is an adjunct rather than a complement, and that the verb, kal, is used similarly to how it is used in Proverbs chapter 8 verse 29, where it means to mark out. Therefore, the verse can be interpreted as, see, in the palms of the hands I have marked you out, Your walls are continually before me, which is consistent with other texts in Isaiah 40-55 that relate the hands of God to his power of creation. This interpretation suggests that Zion's consolation is based on her creation by God, who has marked her out in the palms of his hands and cannot forget her. In conclusion, no, God doesn't have tattoos, not only because he doesn't have a physical body but also because he doesn't need to rely on anything else but himself to keep the promises he has made to his people. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this one. Here's a dog.